This is District 9 review. Yeah.
So the plot of this movie is this alien ship comes down and sort of just starts hovering over some South African city that I can't remember the name of. I'll remember.
That would be Johannesburg.
Johannesburg. Starts just hovering over that, and it doesn't really move. No one comes out of it. So the government decides to go into it, and we just find all these malnourished aliens, or as they call them, prawns. And so what they do with these prawns is they stick them in like this slum type thing, and it's pretty nasty. And they just keep them there for 28 years. And we're pretty much keeping them there to, we find out later, to like learn about their weapons and trying to be able to like use their weaponry.
Yep, throw them in an internment camp pretty much. They're disgusting little creatures. Nobody likes them. And a bunch of black people live there.
There's a bunch of gangster Nigerians.
Yeah.
Nigerians. And then, Dan, what do you think about this?
I was not prepared to talk first. so what I thought about this movie.
Okay.
Well, I thought that as far as cast goes, the main actor guy that the story follows,
I didn't really like him, kind of.
I didn't like him at first, but he definitely grew on me.
I liked the way his
First,
character changed throughout the movie. I thought that was...
Yeah.
The attitude, and it definitely had to grow on you throughout the movie, I thought. But towards the end, I liked him, and for his first acting role ever in like a major movie, I thought he did a damn...
Oh, that was his first?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I take back what I said.
Yeah, so the way his character changed throughout the movie into almost a different person, I thought was excellent. It was very well done. But it was very well done how his personality and things just changed throughout the movie. And he was just,
how he was persuaded to see the prawns as, enslaved.
Before he was kind of just like a nerdy little, office guy who went out on a little mission, and then at the end he was in a big thing with people and shit. So.
I thought he just won the lottery. Okay, anyway, I thought this movie, I don't think Duff and Andrew agreed with me. Andrew and the other reviews said that he thought the CGI looked had been done by like a first grader, but I thought it was really,
No, he said the camera was held by a first grader.
He said the CG was done by a first grader.
Well, the reason why, if it was the camera, it was supposed to be a documentary kind of movie in the beginning. So
I didn't mind that. I actually thought
but the thing I don't get is that, like, towards the end when he's off by his own and the camera's still with him, is that, like, still supposed to be documentary? Like,
No. They kind of just, like, get rid of that.
I'd be the bravest damn cameraman on the face of the earth.
That's why the film gradually crosses over to be, like, a more conventional film, although, like, still film with a very documentary look,
Once major changes start to happen, I think the film crew was like, we're not fucking around with you anymore.
Yeah, and then, you don't even realize, like, it's supposed to be a documentary, like, because they're so wrapped up in, like, either the action or, like, within.
Yeah, and I thought that... Sorry, go ahead, Brad.
The change between the documentary style and the, conventional action movie was really gradual and slight, that it wasn't even really noticeable until I thought about it after the fact. And I thought the documentary thing was a good way to give backstory. It was an interesting take.
Yeah, it definitely did that well. And I thought, while it wasn't a key part of the movie and it wasn't needed, I thought it was a very different type of way to, like, catch you up to speed on what's been going on. Because it didn't start, like, the day they showed up. Like, it started 28 years later or whatever. And so it would, and it was just a really good way to catch you up to speed, and I thought it did that. I wasn't, like, confused or anything afterwards.
Yeah. The whole thing was an interesting take on the, traditional alien movie, the way they did it.
It definitely was not your basic scientific movie. I mean, with the characters, the main guy, like, he's just trying to survive as best he can with everything get thrown at him, but, I mean, you understand his part of the story because, like, there's also the emotional side with his wife and all that they get thrown in there, and, I mean, you kind of get tied to it, so it's not like your basic scientific
movie. Normally how these alien movies seem to work is that the aliens come here, we go to them, and then there's huge battles, and we never really accept them or anything, or
Yeah.
I guess the only movie that like made me feel emotion towards aliens like this was E.T., but I didn't really like that movie.
This was, I mean, I thought it was cool. It was like a socialization process with like the aliens coming here instead of like us being seen as enemies and getting owned, you know. It was kind of reverse, which I thought was cool.
And you were talking, oh, sorry.
Yeah, they also, the way they went on, it's also good commentary on humanity as a whole and how we treat each other, not just how we treat pretend aliens.
I was going to talk about Adam brought up the emotional part with his wife, but I sat there in the beginning part of the movie. I was watching and like I actually felt for the aliens. I was like, damn, we're treating these aliens like shit. And I had to sit there and tell myself, wait, these aliens aren't really treated like this. But then you think, I mean, these aliens aren't really there. I mean, obviously being treated like that in the movie, but if you think about it, people really live in conditions like that every day. It sort of makes you think, like, your life isn't so bad or something. I mean...
Well, it showed, like, the Nigerians that lived in there, I mean, that's really happening. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the main character thought, he found over time, you know, like, they're just being treated like shit. And
I thought it was a thoughtful movie, you know, we were talking about Inglourious Basterds before, and I think the theme District 9 had going for it you could sit there and think and talk about it long after you saw it, and it's a very deep premise to it.
And the thing I like is that the action sequences, they were far from like being cheap. I thought it was really well done, like when the shootouts and all that happened.
This movie had,
yeah,
the entire movie, like just the ship sitting over the city, looked like $200 million.
And
but
I think
they had like $37 million budget.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it had to do with the fact that Peter Jackson was help on directing that.
Oh yeah, Wombat Studios.
Yeah,
or whatever
like the action scenes with that. I think those are really well done. And District 9 always seemed to manage to always seemed to stay fresh and surprising throughout. Like it always kept throwing stuff at you, you know, kept going with it.
Yeah. I mean, it felt kind of long at parts, but, I mean, the end completely makes up for it. Yeah. That's for sure.
It was very story, too.
I didn't think the ending was very satisfactory, but,
satisfaction.
It could have been, I don't know, I guess I don't think that was really the point of the movie. It wasn't supposed to be a clear beginning, middle, and end. It's just like an episode in this story, it felt like.
No,
I didn't even know if the director was going to come back and like visit this like world or whatever. If he comes back and there is a District 9 or District 10 or District 9 too, then I will definitely be there opening night to see it. That's for sure.
Final thoughts?
Yeah.
So what we're doing now? Alright, good movie overall. Not as good as Inglourious Basterds. It's just, seemed to get slow in parts, and the cast, I thought the cast was decent. It was unknown. I mean, it wasn't too stand out. So I'm going to have to give it a, 9 out of 10, I think.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
All right, Adam.
All right. Well, I find that District 9, it's kind of a rare find nowadays. I mean, it's not your typical science fiction type of movie. And it's a really good thriller movie. I mean, it's action-packed, keeps you at the edge of your seat. It's an average summer movie, but it's definitely well worth watching, only if you can handle the heat, like all the action movies and stuff, and with some other thrown in kind of little romance and sorrow for the prawns in the movie. And overall, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 as well.
All right. I thought the lead actor, I thought at first he was annoying, but he definitely got better. The CG was good. The story was good. The way it was delivered was good. I mean, on the budget, I just didn't feel like I wasted any time in this movie. I was never bored, but apparently the middle was boring to some people. I think anybody who loves sci-fi and who loves action is going to enjoy this movie. And with like shit like Wolverine Origins and Transformers 2 coming out over the summer, this was definitely something to look forward to. And it didn't miss a beat at all. I'd give this, I'm going to go with a 9.5 out of 10.